you know what? This movie gave me a half-assed effort, so I'm going to give a half-assed review. Hey guys, it's Jonathan from Stubmasters Reviews, and today I'm here to review the fifth installment in the Underworld franchise, Underworld Blood Wars. Actually, I'm kind of a fan of the Underworld series. I've always enjoyed it to an extent. I kind of grew up watching them. Especially the first two are actually very entertaining, and then with the third installment, it just kind of started going downhill. So I was really wondering if the fifth installment might possibly pick itself back up and just be the fun horror action genre that we all know and love. We can just turn our minds off and just have a good time. And unfortunately, that's not the case. I'm very disappointed to say that this isn't only a bad movie, but it's just incredibly disappointing and just half-assed, if that's the right term. Just everything in this movie doesn't feel finished. It feels like they just tried to make shortcuts everywhere they could. The effects are lousy. The stunt work is... I can't even tell you how it is because the editing is so terrible. It's almost like they're trying to mask poor stunt work. Kate Beckinsale, she really tries here. And I think that's the saving grace somewhat of this movie, is that all the actors do try with what they're given, but the plot is just so bland, and the story is so uninteresting, and everything feels so small scale and confined. It just doesn't feel like a big, fun action movie like most of the Underworld movies were. So the biggest issue with this movie is that all the effects are just really, really sci-fi-ish. And that's really disappointing because all the Underworld movies had really good prosthetics. They've always had really good prosthetics. And when the movie, especially the first and second, they really relied on those because of their small budgets. Now here, this also had a relatively small budget of about $35 million, but it just felt like they were throwing all these really bullshit special effects in there. Nothing looked convincing. Almost every special effects shot in this movie looked like it came out of a 2003 video game. And that's really disappointing for this franchise. Another thing that wasn't too great about this movie is that the script is just really choppy. Some of it just doesn't mesh together. The dialogue is okay in some areas, but and at some times it's just very uninspired. Basically, the plot follows Celine, Kate Beckinsale's character, and she's kind of caught in the ever-going war between the Lycans, and Lycans are werewolves and the vampires, and everybody wants her blood because her blood contains some sort of like mutagen or something that, you know, makes everyone more powerful. So everyone's after it, and that's basically the main plot of this movie. And you'd think that there would be some cool stuff that come out of that, but nothing is really ever used. There's a certain character that's given certain abilities from her blood from the last movie. They're like, oh, that's cool, and they mention it, but they never really expand on it. And there's also a really cool element in the later act of this movie where a certain character gains like flash-like abilities, and it's cool. You're like, oh, whoa, what are they going to do with this? And they do nothing with it. So guys, that's really all I have to say about Underworld. You know, I'm not going to pop up a green screen and spend hours of time of editing a video or for a movie that doesn't give any effort whatsoever. I'd rather just sit here and just tell you guys how it is straight up. Underworld Blood Wars is just a very disappointing movie. If you really like Underworld movies like I did, I can't even recommend that you see it. You know, probably, honestly, if you really liked it, you probably would have seen it already. But if you haven't, don't waste your time. It's just not good. It's uninspired. It's not absolutely terrible, but there's just so much missing from it. It just feels like a paycheck movie. I might as well just call it Underworld Paycheck. And it just didn't fare very well, which is why I'm going to give Underworld Blood Wars a 1.5 out of 5 stars. So guys, how'd you like the review? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Please make sure to let us know in the comments. Also, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our awesome channel if you haven't already done so. You can also buy our merchandise at cafepress.com/stubmasters. Guys, I'd like to apologize for the quality for this, but I'm under a lot of time constraints as is, and this is really just the fastest way I could possibly get this video up to you guys. I just saw it just about last night or something the night before. The days blend together. I'm a very busy dude. Um, we all are. So sorry if we can't always get these videos out, but I just wanted to make sure that this could come out as quickly as possible so you guys could just see what we thought about it. So please stay tuned for what's coming up in the next week. We have an advanced review for A Dog's Purpose coming up very soon. That was a very wonderful surprise, and I can't wait to talk to you guys about it. So everyone, have a wonderful evening.